Hello and good day to you. Today's video, we are demonstrating the use of photographic images in making a corner in our digital craft technique of 12 crafts of card making. We'll be demonstrating 3 techniques in creating corners with our image today. For this project, we need a photographic image, digital, graphic software. I'm using Affinity Designer. Printer to print the card if you desire. Graphics tablet and a stylus if you desire. But if you can work with the mouse, that's fine. When we are making the handmade greeting card, we'll let you know what materials we need to make that. Open the software. Click on File. We're working on Designer Personal for now. Click on File. Open to locate the folder where your image is in. Select your image. Click on Open. And here you have your image on your work surface. Just going to bring this menu tab here. The layer palette, if you notice, you can see that there's a padlock here. Release it so that we can work on the background. Release the padlock. Click on the padlock to release it. We're now going to move into the Pixel Personal of Affinity Designer. So click on this boxes icon here and it will show you Pixel Personal. Click on it and we're in the Pixel Personal area. Take the selection brush and the menu for it will appear above. The mode should be add. Width can be any. I'll use 11 pixel, but I'll just leave the others. I won't even check all layers. So I'll leave it like that. To make it easier for me, I'm using a graphics tablet and a stylus to do the selection. So I'll just click on any part of the work surface on the image that I don't want to save, and I'll start dragging to select it. Don't worry if you go into the image and you want that part saved, we'll rectify that as we go on, or as we've said in previous videos, or we've demonstrated in previous videos. There's no law saying you can't zoom in. I just want to select first, then we'll zoom in to do the detailed work. So I'm going to zoom in now to get into to make my image beautiful or neat. Select it. Selection brush still selected. Mode is still on add because I want to add some parts to the leaves. this part of the flower, this young leaf here, you can see that it's been removed, but I want it in the image, so I'll click on subtract to remove it from being to save it from being deleted. And I'll go back to add any part I don't want in the image. I'm going to add it. Go to subtract. There's a little part of the flower here, and also this other one. We'll have to. I like this board here, and I want it in the image or the design. Go back to subtract, and I'm going to remove this part. So go to add and go deep into the leaves to give the leaf. I want the leaf to have shape, a nice shape. Okay. I think I need to subtract a little from it. Now I need to add a little. Good. All right, that's fine with me. So I'm just going to click on view, zoom to fit so that we see the full screen. So now we have our image. Just press delete on your keyboard and you see what we have done. We've tubed the image. If you click on select deselect, you can use the opportunity to see if you like the image. If not, if you like it, that's fine. Still click on edit and onto select, because there are a lot of things we need to do. To refine the edge of our image, I won't use refine. If you can use refine if you want to, and if you just click on it, it shows you how the image is going to be. You can smoothen it, you can feather the edges, you can smoothen it and feather. I'm not using that. Instead, I'll go to select and say grow shrink. If you move to the left, depend on how it is selected. If you move to the left, your image is if you move the radius to the left or add minus some pixels, it's going to create a border for you. This is nice if you want a white border, or you want to can add access stencil effects too. But if you want if you don't want that, we don't want that, we just want about 1 pixel off. So we're going to go back and put 0 on the pixel, then, or we just put 1 and click apply. Because normally 0, it will cancel the selection. It won't grow your pixel or shrink it when it's on 0 pixel. So we added 1. And we're going to click on delete. So just want to zoom in to see if we have a fine edge. All right, that's fine with me. I'll go to select and deselect. Now we have a nice tubed image. I'll just save this because it's nice for it's good to save your work, that you can recover it when you want it. So I'll go to file, save as, so that I save in Affinity format, and I'll say yellow flower for corners. I'm just going to save it like that. Now we have our tubed image. The image we want is for the corner. We need to create the card. The first technique we're doing is want it on all four corners of the card. So go to File, New. I'm going to go to the type is Print. The page precept will go to Custom. Document, I'll be using inches for this, and the page width and the height is going to be 8 inches. Click OK. Now you have the 8-inch card, front of the card. So just select the rectangle tool and drag across, drag over the surface, and you have a rectangle. We're going to fill it. Just click on the color palette and choose a color of choice. Let me take red because it's vibrant and you can see it. Then on this menu palette, the layer, going to go to the transform to this XFM transform tool. We'll make the width 8, the height 8. We want it to fit the square we took, or rectangle, we want to fit the page to be the actual size of the front of the card and to line properly with it. So, and the x-y-axis should be 0, y-axis 0, width and height 8. Perfect. And here we have it. Click on the layer, then right click on it, duplicate. I'm going to fill the next layer with let me say white. Okay, let me not go through that shortcut. I wanted to press Ctrl and just resize. Go to the transform layer, transform palette. We'll put 7.8 for the size of the square. And on the x-y-axis, when we move, it will give us a nice x or y axis, and we can line it with that. If you want to, you can go to View and use your grid to do the lining. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to line it. So since the x-axis here says 0.088, I'm going to make the y-axis same. Okay. You just drag and then line. Okay. The white rectangle, square. We'll right click on it, select the white square, right click on it and click on duplicate. Fill it with another color of choice. I'm just randomly picking a color. Let me pick something else. Okay. Now, let's pick this. Transform. We'll make it 7.6. If you don't want to layer it, that's fine. But I just want to. Then I'm going to drag it with my move tool. I'm going to drag it and then I'll line it with the X and Y axis. Okay, let me see. Let me try and gauge it first. So I'll make it 176 on the Y axis. I think that's all right. One side looks larger than the other. You can just okay. All right, that's fine. Now we have a nice the front of card. So I'm going to select the three together, the three rectangle square together. For now, just go on group because I want to. Oh, sorry, not that. I don't need to group them. I'm going to select the bottom square. That's the red one, and click on duplicate. Right click on the layer palette, and the menu pops, click on duplicate and move that duplicated layer to the front. So on the icon here on top, click on move to front. If you can't see any icon here, you can go to layer, alignment, no, sorry, arrange. Just click on the menu button up here, go to arrange and move to front, and it comes to the top. Press the shift key on your keyboard and make sure the cursor is on a diagonal, on one of the nodes diagonally. Then drag until you're happy with the size. For this, I'm going to say view and view grid so that I see if I like what I want to use my grid for measurement now. If it's too small, you can drag out, and if it's too large, you can drag in. So here we have a nice little square. In the tool palette, click on the node tool, and then the menu on top, which you can now reset. You can now set it. Click on curves, convert to curves. We want to change these nodes to curves. So click on it, and the node changes. Select the one of the diagonal nodes. You can move it as you want to, or you can make it pointy. I'm just going to make it pointy. If you want it to be curved, as soon as you move it to the point you want it to be, click on this convert here, either of them. If you click on convert to smart, it's going to make it round, or is it convert to sharp, is going to make it. So we click on convert to sharp to make it pointy. You decide what you want. You can also use squares, you can use circles, you can use ovals. It's up to you. You are the designer. So select this little corner we've made here, duplicate, and I'm going to fill with white. I'll press the shift key on my keyboard and just move it a little, just to create a nice border. If you notice, it's not resizing from all ends, just from one side. Right click on it, on the white corner that we've just created, duplicate again and fill with a color of choice. I'm just going to fill it with that color there. Press your shift key on the keyboard and just resize. So now we have a nice corner. I'm just going to get the flower, go to edit, copy to get the flower. And we'll come back to our working file. We'll come here and say edit, paste. It's a large file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Ctrl. You can resize it. We can resize it here before we move it here, or we can also resize it here. I'm going to resize it on the workshop, on this file here, the card we are making, by pressing the Ctrl key on the keyboard and dragging the mouse, and it resizes on both sides. Place it where you want to. You can rotate it if you want to. If you want it to fit, you can make it big, and or you can make it small. Alternatively, if you want it, if it's an image you just want it to be clipped in, I'll duplicate that. Let's demonstrate it first, then I'll come back to this one. So instead of it being on top, you want it to be inside this shape. All you need to do is, since you have brought the image out, you need to move it into that layer. Just take it into the layer and you will see it in there. And when you see it like this, it means it has clipped it in. You can use your arrow key while it's selected to move it so that you see the view as you desire. So now you have a clipped corner image, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go to, instead of that, I'll just click on it, bring it, drag it out, and it's on top again. So if you want, maybe you're using a design that has a background and you want the background to show, then you can do those clips. You remember, you are the designer, you design what you want. So here we have our, I'm just going to try and line it first. Or should I use the one I did first? Okay, let me use that one, since that one's already lined. Okay, now we have a beautiful corner here. Now before we start making different the other four corners, I'm going to change the colors. Let's change the colors to, I'm going to use brown. So for the green, I'm going to use my eyedropper tool to select. Okay, eyedropper tool to select the shape you want, then use your eyedropper tool to click on the color and it selects it. So for this orange, I'm going to come into a faint pale color, and I'll use that same color for this one, and I'll see if I like it. You can decide on any color you want to. You have a nice color palette to choose from. So here we have it. Okay, I'm going to print it on white. So why don't I leave this on white and take this, let me use yellow for this. If I'm going to print on white, am I doing this? No, we are not printing, so I can use any other. I don't want to print on white. So I'll just go with the previous design. Oh, sorry, I've made a mistake. Let me go back. Okay, so here it is. This is not the one we are printing, that's why. So I'll select the three together, make sure the flower is selected. You can also just press your shift key and select the flower too along. So just select everything. Okay, it's not selecting because it's large. Okay. All right, so we selected it, and I'll just click on group. We can ungroup later. I just want it to line properly without leaving one behind. So on the layer palette, you're going to click it and then click on duplicate. Go to layer on the menu palette, go to layer, transform, and you can flip horizontal or as you desire. It can be vertical, or you can use the icons on top here. Press the shift key on your keyboard so that you want it to line, want to move it to the other end, and then drag it. You will notice a kind of straight line. If you look closely, you see a faint, orange line, and then you can use your the arrows on your keyboard to line it properly, or you can go to the transform bar here to line it, or transform menu, sorry, to line it. Now we have a nice corner up like a sleeve. You can, yeah. So I'm going to group it again because I want to, and then right click, duplicate. On the let me see, arrange icons here, I'm going to tell it to flip vertical because we want it to mirror vertically. Then press the shift key on your keyboard and move it down so that it's straight. That's why we are pressing the shift key. And here we have a nice use as a corner. We can come in with our text, and I'm going to say here you have contributed your skills. Your skills. Enjoy your retirement. Oh, I'm going to make retirements bold. Okay, retire. All right. First, I'll change the font. Go to the font layer, and I'll take Apple Boy BTN. Can make it large if I want to. Move it to where I want it to be. Then just click and arrange. And I can arrange it. So this is the second the first technique. We have used this as corners. We demonstrate how you can clip it, but this one we are not clipping. We can, because we tubed the image. We are not clipping this. We just want the image on it. So let's go to the second technique. I'll go to File now, New. We use the same settings, 8-inch card. Just make designing for the front. Or let me save this one. File, save as. Let's save this one first. File, save as. Technique 1. Okay, and you click on save. When you save in Affinity format, is you have it in layer form. You can come in and change as you desire. You can also save, export as PSD. It will be in layer format. Then you can open it in Photoshop or Corel, PSP, and then Clip Studio if you export in PSD. But this one we're just saving first. Let's create our second one. So here's the 8-inch card that we just made before we went back to save. I'm going to take the select the rectangle tool, drag it across the page of the page, and fill it with a color of choice. So I'm going to fill this one with blue. Or let me take light orange. Okay. And here I'll come to the transform menu. I'll make it fit by making the width and height 8 and the X and Y axis on 0. Then it's going to fit properly to the page. In the layer menu, I'm going to right click on the square we made and duplicate. Then we'll fill it with a color of choice. I'm just going to fill it with white. Then I'll go to the transform and I'll make the width 7.8 and the height 7.8. If you desire, you can change you can resize it, or you can move it if you want to. So let's see. Okay, this one, let me just leave it at one corner here. Okay, and oh, sorry, let me click and I'll make it on 0. We're using it is going to be on so all right, I'll just leave it like that. We have third one to demonstrate. Let's not, then we have the handmade to come up. We have the handmade coming up. All right, since I still have the flower in my as a copy, you can come in here and say edit copy, or since I still have it, I can just click on paste. But let me do the right way. Edit, and I'll come here and paste. So here we have it as a new layer. I'm going to press the Ctrl key on my keyboard and just resize it and drag the mouse and let it resize. This time I'll rotate, manually rotate as I desire. Then I'll duplicate the flower on the layer palette. This flower we're going to be the corner, and I'll resize and I'll place it and rotate. I'm just going to build if you're making, it's going to resize. So I'm going to duplicate. Okay, so here we are. Here's the second one, which is we've used this as a corner just on one side. You can print this and use it on the front of your card. So I'm just going to add a text here, not to leave it off. So I'm going to say, you are special, or let me say, celebrating your uniqueness. Celebrating your and I'm going to increase it in size. I don't want to go, I would have used a plugin to add effects to the text, but I don't want to go into that because I will have to leave this into another part of the software. and it's if you don't have the plugin, means you can't demonstrate, you can't and if you don't have the plugin, it will be as if you are not you are being left out. So I don't want that. I just want us to use what we have. So I'm going to change the font to Belfast heavy. I think that's fine. No, okay, let me select only the celebrating year and change that font and leave the uniqueness in Belfast. So I'll go to only that one, and let me see. Does it look nice? Okay, it's nice. So just shift it. Let me see if I resize it, what's going to happen. I'm going to resize it to 70. Okay, so what I did is I selected just one part of the font and changed it. Then the other part I left in another font. Although the same time I did the text, I just did separate. So I'm going to fill this color now. Let's make it very dark. Okay, so this is the second one. The second technique, we just use the corners. You can build the flowers to make a nice corner. Now let's go to the third one, which we're going to, after that we're going to make it into the handmaker. I think the third one is what we're going to use for the handmade. So for the, okay, let's save this. I'll go to File, Save As, Photographic, corner cut technique, and I'll change it and put 2 there so that I know this is the second technique. So for the third technique, I'll go to File, New. This time, because we are printing and because we are going to make the card, I want it to be A4. So I'll go to, now type is print, page precept. I'm going to go to A4. I like centimeters when I'm working in A4. It gives me that freedom to know the numbers quickly. Then when you're finished, it's going to be in yes, we want it to be in landscape, so don't check the portrait. Then you click OK. So here we have a nice one. You can go to view and you can remove your grid if it is disturbing, but I want a grid for now. And select a color of choice. Let me go. Click on the, select the rectangle tool, then select a color of choice. I'm just going to drag across. Then on the layer part, on the transform, I'm going to put on the transform palette, I'm going to put, I think that was, so it's 21. And here we have 0, 0. This is a setting and it will fit properly. The X and Y axis, they're on 0, 0, and width 29.7, height 21. So you see that it's all right. Then we take on the layer palette, right click, and we'll click on duplicate. We'll fill this new layer with white. And do we need to, okay, I'm just going to resize this layer. I'm going to press the Ctrl key and just resize using the grid. I can come in here too and check if it's all right with me. Can make it a round figure. and see if I like it. Now I don't like it. Let me add it. Okay, I can remove 1 centimeter. That's true. I can remove 1 centimeter. That was 29. It was 29.7, so it's going to be 28.7, and that was 21, so it's going to be 25. So let me make it very easy for myself. Okay. And as you move, you can line it. If you move up, if I move up, you see the numbers. It has to be okay. So 0.5 or 0.5. So we have 0.5 centimeters all around the distance. As you move in with your with the arrow key on your keyboard, it shows you the distance you're creating between one end to the other end. So I'll just do it again, and you will see it's so when I get to 0.5, that's going perfect because I made 1 centimeter difference from the base. So I'm going to select this green card at the back. Sorry, I said green card, green rectangle, and I'm going to duplicate. Oh, I don't know, I deleted it. Sorry. I'm going to right click on it and duplicate. Then I'll bring it to front, move to front. I'll resize it so that it's about 10 centimeters. Then I'll come in here to the transform tool and tell it to make it 10.4. That's how I want it to be. I'm going to duplicate the white one too, and I'll bring it to front, and I'll just resize it to one side. I can tell it to make it let me see if that one is 10.2. I need my calculator. Okay. Oh, let me not use calculator. I'll just use the grid instead. Okay, I just leave it. I'll make it 9.2. How many? Oh, okay, sorry, 10.4. Yeah, that's the mistake I made. So it's going to be 9.4. Okay. Yeah, I should have just gone that way. Okay. So here we have it. I'm going to do copy our flower back. I'm going to copy our flower back. I can also go to the flower and say, and just I can also put paste. I'm going to copy the flower and paste it now, although I can still say paste because it's still in my copy or clipboard. But just to go proper, I'll go to edit. Sorry, I'll go to the flower, I'll go to edit, copy, come to this image and say edit, paste. So here we have our flower. Press the Ctrl key on your keyboard and drag. Here we have a nice flower. I'm just rotating it so that it fits properly. I'm trying to see if it's going to fit the corner that I want it to be. Let me mirror it and see if I can save some of it. I really love the birds, so I don't want to cut them. Let me put this. Okay, so here we have it as an angle. But this card, this other part, let me group this one. Group. It's going to come, before I make that mistake, let me duplicate first and hide the original. It's going to come in front of the card like so. I'm going to score it and then place it. It's going to fold in front. Trying to create an offset. It's going to fold in front like so. So then I will now duplicate this one. I'll click on duplicate. Put it here. That's the card I'm trying to create. Press my Ctrl key when I'm resizing, and I'll place this one here. That means this other one, this is what I'm trying to create. So I'm going to hide the originals. Now when we make the card and we score, this is going to be our card, our finished card. We'll bring the front of the card, we'll score the card and bring the front in here. Let me see, let me arrange this where I don't like. We'll bring the front of the card over to the insert, as if it's coming towards the inside, or sorry, the back of the card towards the front. We'll score, bring the back of the card towards the front to make an offset, and then we'll have a card. This other one is going to be the insert. Why this one is going to be the front of the card. So let me zoom out a bit so that we can see what. And I'll bring them to front. So this is going to be the insert, and I'll just say thanks for being there for me. Let me add full stop. And I'm going to lower it. Okay. So this is a card we're going to create in the handmade fashion. And to create it, I'll just separate this one to this end. This is how it's going to be. We'll print this on this A4 sheet. We'll print this and we'll print this and we'll layer it on the front of the card. But if you are using if your printer can print heavyweight card and you can use duplex, then you can use you can print on the back, this side on the back and this one in front, then you bend it back towards the front. But if not, you can just do some layering of different colors of card and cut this one, and then cut the flower with the white. Print the flower and the white on a copier paper or heavy, maybe mid-weight copier paper. Then you can layer it over, but you have to print the insert with this other part. So let's meet on the works of. Before then, let's save our work. I'm going to say File, Save As, Photographic, corner card technique. There's a third technique. There is 2 corners, and here we have it. Let's go through the second one again. This is nice. I really love this one, and this other one. So, but this is the one we are making. I just want to check something. So this is how we're going to print it. And to print it, I'm just going to print it on white. The green I'm going to layer with I'll use a different color card when I'm layering, because I want that effect of handmade. Just don't want print and glue. No, I want the handmade effect. And let me move this one a bit, the flower a bit. Okay. So I'll go to File, Export. Before I export, I'm going to change this color to dark green and work on the font. Let me see if I have a nice font that I can use. Legible fonts, not those ones you can't read what's written. Okay. Okay, so I'll go to File. First, I'll go to File, Save. Then I'll go to File, Save, Export. We can export as whole documents in JPEG. But if you have a particular selection you want to, if you select it, let's select this flower light. We'll go to File, Export. And you have this drop down menu. It says Selection. Do you want the selection with background, selection without background, or whole document? So you choose any one you want, but we want to export the whole document, so there's no need to take a selection. We just go to File, Export, and say whole document. You can also say don't export hidden layers. So we'll go to Export, and we've selected it in JPEG. So here I'm going to say A4 print card, and I'll click on Save. So thanks for joining me for this video. Let's meet on the work surface where we'll make the handmade greeting card. We are now on the work surface to make the handmade photographic corner greeting card. And to make our greeting card, we need liquid glue, scissors, if we desire to do decoupage, and for that we'll need foam pads. This foam on the roll, you can snip it and use any part. I've not decided if I want to decoupage the image, so if you want to, you will need that. We need a printable. I've printed 2 of the sheets. You need cardstock for layering. This sunflower yellow. You need A4, your A4 card base. I've already printed the logo at the back, but this is a printed card. I wanted this for a different card design, not this one, but I'll just use it for this. And the front is blank. You need a scoreboard and a scoring tool. This the A3 Big Score by Crafts Companion and a scoring tool. You need you can use any scoreboard you have. You need paper trimmer or guillotine. So I'll be using the paper trimmer parts of it. So I'll just score my card now. Let's start. I'm using the centimeter part of the big score, and I'll score the card. Place the back of the card with the logo is is on the scoreboard while the front is facing you. Then place it and you score it on the 10.5 centimeter of a 10.4. I'll use the 10.5. On the 10.5 centimeter groove, and then you fold. I'm just trying to see if it is this score on the logo. and then you burnish it to make a nice fold. See, like doing it on two sides, then I'll bring it back to the front. Okay. So we have a nice offset card. So I'm going to layer this and then layer this inside. Now I have to trim this offset for the front, and this will be for the inside of the card. So for that, I'll take it scoreboard off and bring in a paper trimmer. So I'm going to cut the yellow now to fill the inside of this the insert before we place the printed insert. So I'm gonna make this 21. And I'll make this 19. I'm going to glue this. Yes, I think it's a bit, I have to cut 1 millimeter off. So I'm going to just do that. So instead of 21, it's going to be 20 point, so instead of 21, it's going to be 20 point, can't count now. Now I just remove 1 millimeter from it. So it's showing at the top. Okay, now we have a perfect fit. Okay, then I'll trim this. Let me trim the insert. I have to trim the borders first before I trim the insert. So I'm just going to trim the borders. You can decide to reduce your size. Remember, you are the designer. Look, my blade is not getting long. Let me measure first. I like using this. I've forgotten the numbers, so I'm going to place it to know what I'm doing. Just to know the size. So one side is 19 and one side is 21. This is 19. Okay, the other one is 20.9 also. So 9. So this is 19. And I'm trying to create a nice border. So I'll make this 18 also. Let me see if 18 will be nice. It's going to cut into the design. So and I need a little border around the design, so I'm going to make this 18 points, just a little border. Okay, we'll go with that. So it's about 18.8. And I'm going to trim this. Since I made a mistake of the borders, I have to recalculate. So I'm just going to trim this border off. Place and see. Okay. Yeah. That's nice. Let me make it neat. So I'll go on 20 here. 20 is nice. I need to get a new blade. So now we have a nice, we've trimmed it. I'll put this ones aside first and we'll start working. I'll just glue the don't put too much glue to the edge. You don't want it to smear out. Then I'll glue this and try and make sure I have equal borders, but if I don't, I'll just take it as a style. Oh, that's the design. So we've done the insert of the card. If you want to, we printed, so if you want to trim and make a decoupage, that's to layer it, it's fine. You can do that, and then you use foam pads under, but I'm not doing that. I just want a quick card. So let's work on the front. And the front, I remember, is 10.5. So just cut 10.5. Do I need to cut 1 centimeter? Okay. If you want, if you have extra, you can also place a design, a little of it coming from the back. Then it's not going to be off. It's going to be a nice design. You can still score it and then place it that it has a nice offset there. Or off. You have a nice color at the back, the same color at the back, and a little of it in front. But I'm not doing that. I'm just going to place this in front and trim the excess off. So I didn't measure these. Okay, this is 10.5. Good. This is 10.5. I didn't measure the length. So I'm just going to do that now. Do this and slip it under so I measure the length. I think it's about 21 we used. Okay. Yes, that's it. So place it. So 21. And we removed one, so it's on 20.9 or so. Nothing. So we've cut it on 20.9. And I'm going to layer this here. Right to the front. I'll put that aside and then trim the borders off this the print table before we do the measurement. So you can just place it like that. It's still neat, it's still nice. But you know, it's not this is not how I want it. It was when we were designing it. It was like this was like upside down. So this is. So if you want to put a sentiment, you can add another sentiment here. So I'm just gonna put this here and glue it. Trying to leave a nice border around it while I layer. So here's our finished card. So here's our finished card. If you want to, because we are not demonstrating glitter now, embellishment, I don't want to use all those stuff that we are not demonstrating. You can use glitter over it, glitter glue. You use your pen and your glue over it, and you can use your glitter glue over it to give it some glitz. You can tie ribbon. You can make a different another kind of flower over it at this end. But since we are not demonstrating that, I just want to focus on the technique that we are working on. That we when we are combining different techniques in different other like if you are doing rubber stamp, I will combine photographic cards and rubber stamping together. You understand, because you have learned the technique of you have learned the technique in photographic cards. Then we can now use the rubber stamp in it and combine them together. So here's our photographic cornered card. You can see it. You can add your sentiments. If you have anyone here, you can add it. You can even add you can layer some strips here too, just to cover, okay, just layer some strip here. Let me just do that. Let me do it. Let me start a strip. So this one's about 10.5, right? So I just cut a strip. I just want to see if it's going to be nice here, because this place a bit bare. Let's since we can still use cards to play around. Okay, here we have it. Or should I make it a bit thing? Indecisive now. I'll go for the thin one. So just add that. And with the scissors, I'll just trim it. I didn't measure properly. I'm just going to trim it here. Okay. Oh, I have a little glue coming out. Pardon me. Okay, move it around a bit. Okay. It's looking better. And do I have any white strip? Let me see if I still have any white strip around. Can add that one to make it tiny. Let me see. Oh, that's nice. Looks nice. Yeah, I'm not going to add it. I'm not going to add it. The white strip I have is too thin, and I don't want glue coming out. And okay. Thanks for joining me for this video of 12 crafts of card making. The technique of digital craft. A focus on photographic image used as a corner design in this handmade greeting card. This handmade greeting card and digital card. Until then, you can visit the blog anino.com to see what's happening in the crafting industry. Happy crafting and remain blessed. Bye for now.